but I'm just going to start with the introduction of the table. So this is another table by John Papaduke Jr., probably butchered that name right there. Inspired by his earlier game, Theater of Magic. Difficulty level is about the same, even though it's much easier to progress through the modes and reach the final mode. The playfield is more difficult. The game is based on Arabian Nights, with the lamp, a genie, and the flying carpet ramp. It has a very beautiful and detailed back glass. Surprisingly, it's a very low-scoring game. Williams seems to have done what Mexico did a few years ago and chopped 3 zeros off currency. Scores about 1,000 times less than Attack from Mars. Replay is usually 10 to 20 million. High scores around 40 million or so. Anything over 100 million is a world-class score. Another unique thing about Tales of the Arabian Nights, otherwise known as TOTAN, is that it goes out of its way to tell players free games are available. Instead of replay, it flashes free game at you. During match, it tells the players that a free game is possible if they match. This is a good feature for people new to pinball who might not know what a match is. There we go. All this information is on pinball.org. That's where we get all of our rules from.
We have flippers. There's 2 of them. Yep. Use them well. We have the slingshots and feeder lanes. We have the out lanes. I was reading on this too. It said the out lanes are switches. The out lane switches are buttons, not rollovers, which I thought was kind of interesting. And we have the shooting stars. They're these awkward looking lights. They're like right above the out lanes. That will, yeah, they're near both the out lane entrances, and they right where the spikes shoot up on the playfield and grab the ball on both of the out lanes. You'll see like a series of like little holes and perforations that where sometimes the ball, when it goes towards the out lane, those rods will pop up and catch the ball. They're kind of similar to Freddy's Claw in Freddy. Then there's the left stand-up targets. I couldn't find these on mine when I was looking at the playfield. It says that they look like red squares, and there's 3 of them, and they're in a vertical line, and they're easy to hit with a shot off the tip of the right flipper. But I couldn't find them. They say they're right above the left in lane. Do you see them?
I see the tip of one of them right there, but
so they're kind of difficult to see. Yeah. I've noticed that with a lot of the stand-up targets on this table. You 2 in the backstroke on the table. Marty's really getting up in there. Yep, you can see it right over here. It's like playing Twister. No, as I was reading through some of the rules too. Right hand.
If you want to eat healthy and feel your best, you gotta try Gachava. Gachava is the world's healthiest all-in-one meal shake.
No, so yeah,
it's made with over 70 plant-based superfoods and nutrients.
So I'm going down through some of these. I'll try to point something out.
Hold on, I hit a button.
All your essentials in one delicious
Harem and the Tiger Loop right on the left orbit. And the left orbit also has this diverter that will send the ball to the jet bumpers. Otherwise, the ball will loop the whole way around. The left orb and saucer. This is kind of like Yeah, the whoop swoop. That's that little cup that's got the two balls behind it. So the captive ball, they're calling it the captive ball, is behind another ball that's in a fixed position on the play field. So it's the captive ball is hit by hitting this fixed ball, which will transfer the momentum to the captive ball behind it. It's exactly like the tiger saw shot in Theater of Magic, except for it's lower on the play field. And the saucer is in front of it, and a shot that's too weak to trigger the captive ball will land perfectly in that saucer. Then there's this, what they're calling an unnamed lane. So there's a small lane just under the diverter in the left orbit. So part of that left orbit, no, the left kind of orbit, halfway up that left orbit, yeah, up higher, yep. There's that little like kind of diverter arm, right? So the right orbit wouldn't be able to exit via this lane. So sometimes the ball goes into the lane from the right orbit, but it hits the diverter, especially on a weak shot, to the right lane, to the right orbit. And then the lane is really small, tight vertical lane, kind of like the feeder to the far left flipper on Roadshow. So it's kind of similar to that. And it's behind the captive ball area of the left orb. So if you kind of go up from where that captive ball is, yeah, it's a very tight little, lane. Yep. So this lane doesn't have any scoring targets on it. It's just there. And like the lane above the top right flipper on the on Twilight Zone. So it's kind of giving some examples of other tables that have something similar. So that lane it's not directly shootable from the flippers. The ball enters the top of it when a right orbit is missed and it doesn't have enough momentum to come out the left orbit. Then you have your ramp, right? There's only one ramp in this game. It doesn't seem like that, but that's the only one there. And it's you definitely have to have a powerful shot to get up that ramp. And then there's an unnamed stand-up target. Here we go, with another hidden target. So to the right of the ramp entrance is a small yellow stand-up target. This is probably the most obvious one in the game. Yeah, so it spots a bizarre letter when you hit it. So the bizarre off to the, yep, right there, off to the right. Then you have your lamp, which is the main toy of the game. And it's suspended on two posts, and it's on a rotating disc. Yep. So think of a clock with 12 numbers on it, and the lampposts are on 9 and 3. So the disc does not move on its own, but it has very low friction, so it can be moved when the ball hits. So a good shot to the post will send it really spinning. Then we have our Genie, Big Blue. You're my boy, Blue. So this is pretty mean looking, right? He's got glowing turquoise eyes. He's hinged in the middle, so he can swing back and forth just a little bit, and you can push him back with a hit register. And the Genie is behind the lamp, and it's making it quite a challenging shot. I know I always hit the lamp when I'm going for the Genie. Then you have the Genie Magnet. So this is the magnet just below the Genie. So when the Genie's hit, sometimes the magnet will catch the ball, but not every time. It's kind of a weak magnet. Then we have a hidden treasure. So offset to the right of the Genie, buried behind the lamp, is a very small, obscure stand-up target. Here's another one of those hidden targets. It's almost impossible to see from the player's viewpoint. When this target is hit, it registers a Genie hit. So this gives the game a slight built-in compensation in case the Genie ever breaks in the real machine. Yep, and then you have your right stand-up targets. So just like the left targets, there's 3 of them. They're hidden behind the lamp. I didn't even know they were there until I was looking at it from a different angle. Now the targets are arranged in an outward curve similar to the convex lens. Hitting any one of these targets will light the shooting star on the right side, right above the right out lane. It'll light that shooting star. So a lock, so this is a difficult shot to hit. Not only is it very narrow, it's also obscured by the lamp. It's a small lane that quickly bends to the left and merges with Harem Lane. If you hit the ball in here, but lock is not lit, you will enter the harem. The girls will laugh at you while giving you a very small random bonus between 7 and 50K, like 20K. Very small. Yeah, story of my life. Harem Lane is a small there's these small lanes everywhere on this thing. It's like hidden targets, small lanes. I'm telling you what. So the Harem Lane is a small vertical lane that drops down to lock the saucer. Balls that are held because of lock will stack up in this lane. So yep, it's stacked up. So you can hit that from the left or the right, depending upon the left orbit and the diverter. Left, right, left, right. Lock magnet. Just above the back entrance of the Harem Lane, the magnet will intercept shots going around the left and right orbit when lock is lit. The magnet will drop the ball through Harem Lane right down into the lock saucer. This is by far the easiest way to get a ball lock. When the magnet is not on, it's difficult to enter the lane as the lane entrance is very narrow and won't stop a ball that's screaming around the orbits. And Bizarre. Then we have Bizarre, which is a scoop. It's in the same position. When Bizarre has been spelled out on the lights in front of it, the Bizarre becomes lit for a random award. The Bizarre can also be lit to make a wish. The Bizarre gets knocked out of adjustment easily. Unnamed stand-up target. Another small, here we go again, another small yellow stand-up target to the right of Bizarre entrance. It's like that target next to the slot machine on Twilight Zone. And this, it spots a Bizarre letter when you hit it. Then we have our jet bumpers at the top. We have our Harem sneak in. So this is close to the back edge of the play field in the center. It's just below the leads into the jet bumpers from the right orbit. So a lucky bounce from the jet bumpers will send the ball in there. This will score 1 Harem sneak in, and the ball will be kicked out of Bizarre entrance. Right orbit, very similar to the left orbit, but it doesn't have a diverter. And lock and tiger loot can be lit, as well as extra balls. So when extra ball is collected, the lock magnet will activate so the animation can be displayed, regardless of whether or not it's lit. And then the right orb is another captive ball with a fixed ball in front of it, just like the left orb, but there's no saucer on this one. Yeah, this is very similar to that one. Then there's another unnamed lane. There's a lot of unnamed things. It's like they didn't finish the game. It's like they just quit halfway through. They're like, yeah, we'll just call this another unnamed. I forgot about it. So it's a lane on the far right edge of the playfield leading down from the jet bumpers. Then you just have your plunger and your skill shot. And your skill shot on this one So you have the snakes, right? You gotta charm the snakes. Yep. So you find out from the DMD, it'll show you which one you're going for. First, second, or third basket. Once you make it into the basket, if you then hit it up the ramp, that's a super skill shot. So if your original skill shot is made, the super skill shot will become available. And then the ramp will light. And then you hit the ramp immediately, and it's award twice the value of a skill shot.
Is that all you have to say about the matter?
So yeah, that concludes the playfield layout.
All right. Well, you're doing all right. I'm going to turn your voice up slightly, and I'll play, and you talk about the modes, because I know the table okay. How's that sound? Just for 10 minutes or so.
Yeah. Are you gonna play, or are you gonna do some of the ball movement? Are you gonna move? Are you like to move your balls yourself? Like I think at Jared,
He moves his balls.
Subway guy.
So go ahead and name the first mode. Let me try to start one up. I'm currently set on Cyclops.
Jump into that. I can name off a couple of these modes, and if you want to get into more detail with any of them.